ready for another lesson?
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Back Row Banter, your favorite casual movie talk podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Adam Schwartz. On this week's episode, we'll be talking about the movie MaXXXine. But of course, before we get to any of that, I am joined today by Night Stalker Nathaniel Gingrich.
Ooh, don't love that. Having, recently, because of this, been interested or listened to a separate podcast about the actual Night Stalker. Would very much like to have no association with that man.
Well, we're here.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'd like to veto that name. Do we get one veto? Since,
I mean, I can go back and bleep it out.
No, I'm not actually. Don't actually do that. But I just want it on the record. I'd like the record to show.
It's on the record. It's on the record. What do they call the person who takes notes in the courtroom?
The stenographer? Yeah.
Yeah. They've got it down.
You think they're still a job, or is that just
they are?
Is that just an AI that does that now?
I don't know. That's actually a good question.
I
think they are
ripe
in my mind.
for...
I think they are just because, like, if you need to in the court, sometimes they'll have the stenographer read back what someone said. I don't know how easily you can do that with AI. So, but who knows? One day that'll probably be not an issue at all. So it'll probably like read back the recording, so it's in that person's voice, and like I don't know, it'll do something weird and crazy, or there won't even be a justice system. It'll just be an AI that decides if you're guilty or not guilty, and reviews all of the drone footage that's available in the world that it has access to because it's omnipotent.
Listen, Philip K. Dick. Let's have a little bit more cheer. Remember that if the AI gets really mad, we can always just kick the plug out of the wall.
That's what they want you to think.
Who does? The AI.
The deep state.
The AI.
The deep state.
The deep state.
I don't know.
Is that where we're going now that we're sponsored? You want to start creating, finding that niche?
I guess so. Yeah. The second we get some popularity, we just go
make
off
our
the deep
turn.
end. Yeah, it goes right to our heads. Also joining us today is Tyler Vidalis.
Yeah, that's cool.
Much
you
cooler.
like that?
Yeah,
Is that better than?
I mean, it's
Night
definitely.
Stalker
Yeah, weirdly.
I feel like those are two very different lives.
Yeah, you're not
They
Zodiac Killer Ty.
Yeah. True.
I mean, you could be if we watch Zodiac.
Also true.
Great movie though.
Also true.
It is. That's one we should get that on the short
We should
list
get on.
for sure.
Let me throw that on the short list.
If we're gonna
now.
do
I've
any
got it.
Fincher,
Got
we're
my
doing
note
Girl with
right
the
here.
Dragon Tattoo next.
No
7.
Ooh,
That
actually,
may be
you're
adjacent
right.
to a
You're
film
right.
that's
No,
coming up.
You're right.
We'll
I'm
leave it
wrong.
at that. Yeah.
Speaking of short list, you guys ever seen the movie The Island?
Michael Bay's The Island
Yeah.
with Ewan McGregor.
Yes.
The Island.
Yes.
Yes.
Sounds familiar.
The Island is
but
a
I
movie.
may be thinking of Triangle.
I believe
Triangle. I'm just interested in
Horror
the
film that takes place on an island in a boat. So I think that's just where my head's immediately going to.
I don't know that one.
like the Bermuda Triangle.
Yes.
Oh. Anyways,
I would like The Island on the short list.
The Island is a
Adam.
movie I feel like I have seen all of. I remember nothing about because I saw it on like a 4th of July weekend in like on TNT in high school or
And
something.
yeah, you
like
were
that.
young. Part of
Yeah.
you didn't care.
Yeah, exactly.
100%. I think you would like a rewatch, my good sir.
It's on the short list.
There it is.
We'll get around to it.
Did you throw 7 on there by chance?
7, A Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Zodiac, and The Island all just got added to the short list.
Seven's one I will always go to bat for.
Productive day at the
Honestly,
office, boys.
I haven't seen that film in
Blackout,
probably
we're done.
2+ years. Nathaniel. Like my next viewing would be close to a first time viewing.
Ooh,
of 7.
Yeah, I haven't seen that film in 10 plus years.
That is-
I certainly haven't seen it post college
6 months ago.
or post high school, I should say.
What's in the box?
I saw it recently.
If you don't know
Okay.
what's in
Good
the
movie.
box.
I do know what's in the box. We had this conversation literally like a week ago.
Do you know what's in the box?
I'm not going to spoil it for anyone.
Everyone right now just Google what's in the box.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Running out the squadron, of course, is big buster BlakeHolder.
What up?
I couldn't think of a B name until I remembered the little like alleyway scene, and I was like, I got it.
She steps on my guy's scrotum.
Yeah.
feels like.
Well,
Spoiler alert.
spoilers. But
Oh, wow.
Bang!
I mean, you did call me big ball buster.
I mean-
okay, fair enough.
yeah, but that's out of
fumbled
context. That
that
could
one.
mean
I
that can mean
fumbled that
anything. You know, I can bleep that out. Don't worry, listeners. You
Yeah.
didn't hear a thing. Pretend you didn't.
That'll
hear a
actually be funny if you can actually bleep it out.
He can. He will.
I can't.
the
I
actual
can. I
sound.
can. Yeah, that's the
Let's do
magic.
that.
Yeah, that's all right.
magic of
So
editing.
yeah, so go back. All right, let's do this over.
That's funny.
Yeah, now
Now
he's got
rewind.
he's gotta
and
find-
also joining us today is big ball buster BlakeHolder.
What up?
There's no ball busting in this movie, that's for sure.
Never.
No, of course not.
All testicles are safe.
Why would that be in here?
No testicles were harmed in the making of this film.
Oh my god. Gotta bleep out this whole intro. Jesus. How you doing, Blake?
Not bad, man.
We got a busy
happy to
week
talk
coming
about
up
this
ahead
film.
of us.
Go ahead.
We got a busy week ahead of us. We got Longlegs this weekend. NCAA next weekend.
Mm,
It's gonna be a great few weeks here.
It
in
is.
July. Yeah.
it is, man. It should be a solid month.
Yes, it should.
So yeah, man. And we just had MaXXXine this past weekend. So yeah,
We did.
I'm looking forward to it. The next few weeks, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm with you.
I am as well.
I assume you're gonna play with Mizzou in NCAA. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Gotta. You know, I
Okay.
can't say I gotta start the rebuild. The rebuild's complete. You know, Mizzou looking good.
Yeah, you
coming
just
in.
can't fuck it up, right?
Just
so you gotta
can't
start
mess
your
it up.
dynasty. Can't fuck it
Right.
up.
Right. Exactly. So
We'll,
you know, there's some changes to be made, but we'll get them done.
Who do you want me to start the dynasty with, Nathaniel?
Yeah,
Big
that's
school right
That's
now.
what I was gonna say. So, but you can't pick Montana, right? Because they're not NCAA.
Oh, I don't think they have SCF schools. No,
Yeah,
that's a
damn.
valid point. I don't think they have FCF schools in there. though.
Montana.
Montana.
But I would have done it just for you, my brother. I would have done it.
That's all right. What's a fun team out there? Does
Ooh.
who are like the
So you're out there.
what's the like that East Carolina or whatever, the Pirates, Buccaneers, or they're purple. They always seem like they're
East
fun.
Carolina's the Pirates.
East-
Yep.
Yeah.
ECU.
Purple and yellow.
Yeah, they always seem like they're having fun. Why not
Underrated
that?
mascot.
Notre Dame.
Okay.
Underrated colors. Yeah.
And underrated colors. Yeah.
Notre Dame.
I was gonna say originally, I
Get
always
outta here,
obviously LSU is always fun, but they're too good now, or they were too good.
They're too
so
good now. Yeah.
Roll
Yeah, they're-
But
Tide.
ECU's a good replacement.
I'm gonna roll purple if I can. Like, I feel like
Do
that's
it.
that's
Yeah.
the common thread among teams
you got
I support.
maybe not like a underdog team, but you got the TCU Bullfrogs. Is that what they are?
Yeah.
Bullfrogs?
Horned frogs.
Horned frogs.
Which, fun fact, they're one of 3 schools, I believe, 3 or 4. I believe it's 3 that are reptilians.
Oh.
So, does anybody know the other 2?
Gators.
That's a great question. Do
Tide's
Gators
got
count?
one. Florida Gators.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
They're
Florida
reptiles.
Gators?
There's one more, which is probably gonna be difficult. I'd be surprised if anyone here gets it.
Is it like a Power 4 school?
It's a big school. Yep. So TCU Horned Frogs, Florida Gators. There's one more.
Give me the conference.
Big 10. You're
Big
probably
10.
still not gonna get it.
Is it the Chameleons?
It's
That'd
gotta
be a
like
really cool mascot, though.
That's so funny.
It's
We
not.
blend in.
It's got to be like a Maryland or Rutgers. I don't know their mascots.
Yeah,
though. Is it one of those?
It's
two?
Maryland. Yeah, and that's why I
Maryland?
said one's Big 10. It was a little.
It's like a
Yeah,
crocodile.
I
or
don't know
Yeah,
their
something.
Maryland-
what's their
that's their-
mascot?
they're turtle.
Oh, that's
Turtle.
right. That's right. What's the worst? What's the worst mascot in
turtles.
NCAA?
I don't know, man, but turtles are fucking dope. I wish they would just be called
turtles are dope, but they're just not.
Dope.
They're just turtles aren't like a
they're
power
not
animal.
vicious.
Yeah, so there's no.
Yeah.
It's like
I was always
Hey, man,
confused by
granted,
that.
I don't know what
Turtles, bro.
I don't know what a terrapin is though. I would imagine that's
Terrapin?
some
It's a type of turtle.
Well, let's
form
find
of
out.
right.
We have
I understand
Google
that, but I'm sure it's some
terrapin.
sort of aggressive, larger size turtle, right? Maybe
snapping
it-
alligator turtle.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it's funny.
I don't know.
When people pick like school mascots or something, it's generally like if it's an animal, it's something that's either got a reputation for being quite aggressive or it's something that's large and noble. I'm always
Yeah.
intrigued by the folks that like pick really odd ones, like the jackrabbits or something. It's like, okay, you're fast,
Yeah.
but okay,
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm very interested in schools that decide to go something else.
Chameleons wouldn't be bad, man. You may be
Chameleons
honest.
would be fun. Chameleons would be fun. Or like the moose.
Diamondback terrapins are aquatic turtles with concentric diamond-shaped markings and grooves on the scutes, the plates of their
Scutes?
carapaces, the shells, which range from medium gray or brown or nearly black. Their skin can be whatever. But then it says, I go to predation on this website or predators. They're vulnerable to a lot of things. They're vulnerable to raccoons. They're vulnerable to cows.
They're low tier. They're low
Crabs,
tier for
cows, crabs, crows, gulls, herons, rats, muskrats, foxes, raccoons, skunks, and minks. They got a lot of predators, baby. This
It's a low-tier
is
build.
not what you want your mascot to be. But I will say, Maryland, that's a very fitting mascot for you, Maryland. You are really
we can't-
at
that's
the
one of my
top any
favorite
food
mascots.
chain.
We can't
It's cool,
glaze over you initially reading their predators as cows for a moment where
I
just,
kept saying cows. I couldn't get the R out. I
I
kept saying
just-
because it was I don't
but
know what it was.
I just want you to imagine my thought process of a cow being like, fuck that turtle. I'm going to eat that thing. Just like, runs up and like stomps it. That's a horrifying way to die.
It is horrifying. It is. Yeah, it just like presses on the shell
Yeah,
until it oozes
yeah.
out.
Yeah, there's something.
Which another
bit of
fun
sizzle.
fact of turtles. That shell, like they fill everything on that, by the way. So like when they're just like
Yeah.
crushed by shell, yeah, it's like
I dissected a turtle in high school. In AP
they're
Bio.
attached to that shit, man.
Yeah, they had to use like sheet metal cutters to get the
Yeah.
sucker open.
Shout out to terrapins and all the turtles there, and shout out my what's the classic internet video? Classic. Anyone know where I'm going here?
Oh, the
All
turtle.
time
I
classic.
like-
I'm
I
talking
like
top, probably like
turtles.
top 10 all time
Yeah.
for sure.
I like turtles.
Is that before your
Good one.
time, Adam?
No, I know that one.
No. Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
About the same
good one.
age as the one in the video. When that video
Good one.
probably came out.
Oh no. Yeah, potentially. Potentially.
What year did that come out?
So I'm trying to ballpark. I feel like that's got to be like 08,
You think
9.
it's before 2010?
07.
I was close.
So is that
Yeah.
small child?
Very well, that
7?
could have been Adam. And the whole time, that could be Adam. Do you have any
I mean, could you
recollection?
Imagine. Yo, this podcast would be way more famous if it was me.
I mean, if you want to go ahead and just embrace that as oh no,
For sure, I would. I would fucking.
we should have
run
said
with it,
that
bro.
before we started the podcast. I am the I Like Turtles kid.
This
Welcome to Back
this
Row
guy's at
Banter.
least like 16, 17 in this video, as I'm looking at it now.
Is he really?
Dude, he's
Is he
old.
really?
He's like
No
pretty old.
way.
Bro, he's like
I remember he has like spiked hair, right?
yeah, he's
Or am I
dressed up
thinking?
in
Or I'm thinking of
zombie
another
makeup.
video.
Yeah.
Yes,
No, he's-
exactly. So
yeah.
that is that
Yeah,
one.
That
You
kid's
think that
not
kid's
16.
No
No
fucking
way.
way, Adam.
I'm gonna send it to you guys right now, and you guys
I'm like, either
can't
I'm
tell me this
tripping
guy's at
balls.
you can't tell me this guy doesn't drive a car.
I'm calling bullshit right now.
this
I
is
just
one
sent
of
it in
the-
the group chat.
I feel this is
I'm
one of the most
comfortable with
off the rails
I don't care.
bits of the pod.
This guy was not close to 7 years old.
This
This is not. No, this is not the original video. I refuse
That's
to
not the
believe
original
that.
video.
Oh,
No
maybe
way.
is that the kid now?
No fucking way.
Wait,
that the-
Paramount
Potentially-
Pictures posted this. I'm
Potentially, it's
confused.
11 months ago.
Oh, that. Yeah. This website I had just linked to this. I was confused. Oh, I see the original now. Okay, wait.
Yeah, I'm
let
like,
me
no
see.
fucking way. This is the video that I can remember.
That's got to be the same kid that they just.
Yeah, it
kinda got
is.
gotta
It's a
be
promo
100%.
video.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zombie Kid.
I don't know why they
still
linked to
likes
that one and not
turtles.
the original.
Adam killed me. He's like, you can't tell me this guy doesn't drive a fucking car. It's like, yeah, the guy's fucking 27 in the video.
Where's the original one though?
The original one is definitely like a little kid being interviewed by the news.
Because I don't remember this video.
Yeah, because you were the little kid.
7 years old.
We figured this out.
Because I was in the video. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
That's why I don't remember it. Yeah, hilarious. All right, I just sent you the new one. You're right. This kid probably
not
around
driving
my
a
age at the
car.
time.
Can he or can he not drive?
This kid can't drive for sure. This kid
No
is
way.
probably around my age at the time. All right, we found the original, ladies and gentlemen.
That's
Don't worry.
crazy. 74 million views. Pardon me.
That's wild.
That's crazy. 17 years ago.
Time flies
You know
when
what?
you're having fun, kids.
I do
Yep.
like turtles. You know what else I like, ladies and gentlemen? Movies, specifically the movie
Wow.
MaXXXine. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our main reviews segment here at Back Row Banter. If the listener here is new, Nathaniel, or maybe they've just forgotten, can you give them a rundown of how the review segment works?
What up, folks? If you're new or maybe you've just forgotten, how the review segment works here on Back Row Banter is what is split into two sections. In the first section, we'll go over the movie itself, who's in it, who directed it, who wrote it, all that good stuff. We'll go over the IMDb page, go around the squadron, decide if we like if we recommend the movie. Has to be a yes or no. There is no nuance on the internet. From then on, we'll go around the squadron. We'll play the spoiler noise if you don't want to have anything spoiled for you. And then we'll dive into the movie more, give our deeper thoughts on it. If there's any spoilers or plot twists, that's where we'll really talk about it. And then we'll rank it up on our Entropy list, which is our big list of everything we've watched on the podcast before ranked. If you didn't want to have anything spoiled for you, that's where you'll come back in and listen to us rank it up there and the rest of the episode. So, with that being said, Adam, tell me about MaXXXine.
I would love to. This, of course, is a new movie released just this year, just last weekend.
What?
Yes, it is rated R with a runtime of 1 hour and 43 minutes and an IMDb rating of 6.9 out of 10. It is written and directed, of course, by Ty West, who wrote the previous two films in this little horror trilogy that we have here. I believe a point that Blake made a few weeks ago is that this is the first trilogy that we have reviewed where the first movie came out that we reviewed live or like in real time on the podcast, and now we have reviewed the third movie in real time on the podcast. I guess maybe not necessarily as in real time because we just reviewed Pearl, like not when it came out, but like we've reviewed all three and all three movies have come out while this podcast has existed. I guess you could say that. But yes, if you've not seen X and Pearl, this is the third movie in that little horror trilogy. You definitely need to see probably at least X.
Yes, definitely.
In order to see this one. Pearl, more of a prequel to X, but still ties in a decent amount. But yes, here we are, kind of the conclusion of this little trilogy. It stars, of course, Mia Goth reclaims her role as Maxine Minx. And then this list doesn't go in order of like popularity or whatever it is. So someone correct me if I miss somebody you guys want to name. But we have Elizabeth Debicki. Is that how you say her name?
Yep.
Cool. Glad I got that one. Giancarlo Esposito. Who is the private investigator? I can't.
That was Kevin Bacon.
I was
Kevin
gonna say, is that Kevin?
motherfucking Bacon, baby.
Kevin
Dude, he
Bacon
looks like he had so much fun in this film.
Oh, yeah.
He loved every
great
second of
time.
it, for sure.
And then we have Michelle Monaghan and Bobby. Is it Cannavale?
I believe so.
Yeah. Who you would probably recognize. And then who's her best friend? Is it this guy?
Your girl Halsey
No.
shows up for a bit.
Yep, she's in there.
Is she my girl?
Yes. I've decided that for
Why?
Talking about my girl.
you.
Who's the best friend who gets murdered in the adult film store? I can't find him on this list.
Oh, the guy.
Not Lily
Is it
Collins.
This guy?
I'm not sure.
It's Moses.
Found him. Moses Sumney. There we go. That's his name. Shout out him. I think I'll stop there. Is there anybody I'm missing that you guys want to mention? Going once, going twice. All right, cool. Looks like we got most people. The IMDb summary reads as follows. In 1980s Hollywood, adult film star and aspiring actress Maxine Minks finally gets her big break. But as a mysterious killer stalks the starlets of Hollywood, a trail of blood threatens to reveal her sinister past.
Is her past sinister?
Is it?
So it had sinister happenings, I suppose, but is it sinister herself?
I don't know. I think that's up to interpretation. Fellas, we all enjoyed X. I think we mostly enjoyed Pearl. Do we enjoy MaXXXine, the trilogy of this fun, unique, somewhat bizarre, but somewhat interesting and, I don't know, horror trilogy that we have here, with Mia Goth kind of taking over in this trilogy and Ty West writing and directing all 3 films. What are we thinking here with the finale?
Do you want to know what I think?
No.
I do.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think I enjoyed myself quite a bit. It just feels good to me. And,
satisfied.
Yeah, I think so. I wasn't. My expectations weren't like overly high. I think I was probably the biggest fan of X out of the 4 of us. Pearl, I had fun with, but wasn't as high as I am on X. And then this is great. I think for me it goes X, this, and then Pearl.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys feel the same way. I guess you can let me know, let everybody else know. But yeah, I don't. I had fun with this. I think everybody did a phenomenal job. I love the way the story went, even though, well, we'll get there. But yeah, it had a great feel to me. Great timing, great story. Had a ton of fun with it. But yeah, I'm in. Love the setting. Nathaniel?
So there is so much that I like about this movie. And so much that speaks to me, and so much that like feels like it is written with a lot of my sensibilities in mind. But I'm not 100% sure this movie is all that good. And I'm kind of okay with it because I feel like that's kind of like in the spirit of some of the movies that it's kind of like going for and kind of like emulating in some ways. So like it hits this weird spot for me where I'm very like I was just very satisfied by the end of it as well too, and I was just like, this is where I thought it would be, but it didn't like push any envelopes or like open or go out of its way or anything in a way that I feel like maybe I was expecting, having seen the 2-part X and Pearl like combo. Felt like to me maybe Ty West was like kind of leveling up in some ways, where this maybe feels like more of just a solid entry, but like not kind of like the new evolution I wanted to see from Ty West. And to maybe a little bit more the extent Mia Goth as well too. But at the same time, there's no doubt I had a great time watching this. I caught it at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. yesterday, so I saw it with an empty theater.
Love
and
that.
Just got to have it to myself. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I liked it. I don't think I'm a recommend though, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe by the time the circle comes around, I won't lock that in. But like, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I guess I didn't say whether I would or not either, but I would.
Yeah, you would recommend.
Yeah, and I would also like to preface. I don't think this, like you said, this is breaking
No.
anything crazy. I think this just scratches a little itch that I have, and I think a lot of it also probably comes from like a little bit of age. Like I've seen
of course.
older horror movies in this same kind of
very much
lane, and I think I just have like such an appreciation for it, and I think that's why I like it so much, is because I know what it's not. You know.
Yeah,
I know what it's supposed to be, and
it very much invokes what are called the giallo films from the 70s, which was always like the serial killer with the black leather gloves and the silver flick knife, right? And those are also very famous for basically being boobs and blood, and and that's it, you know. And it's going for that aesthetic, but at the same time, there was already this like neo giallo movement in like the mid 90s with films like Seven and that kind of thing, and 8mm, and in that kind of same era. So this is kind of even like a retread of that as well too. And I think maybe that's what I was kind of responding to and being kind of like, okay, well, I was thinking maybe Ty West was going to come at this, but in some ways it just feels like a little bit of a retread. But you know, I'm still positive on it. I just don't know if maybe I had too high of expectations is what it sounded like.
Sure.
But, yeah, Adam, Blake, where are you guys coming in on this?
How do you feel?
Blake, you go ahead. I'm curious to see what you think.
Yeah. This is one I was heavily anticipating, right? I think I kind of went on record a few months back when they noted this was going to come out, that this had potential to be one of the better like modern horror trilogies we've gotten, or at least time. And coming away from this one, I mean, I would say this isn't favorite of the trilogy, but I think I would still hang my hat on that statement that this is one of the better trilogies that we've had come to a head in the past few years, i.e. you look at the Halloween reboot trilogy we've seen post 2018, right? And that has two absolute duds in that, right? So, but yeah, overall, I liked it. Totally different than X and Pearl. So for transparency, I did rewatch X before going into this.
Nice.
And I'm glad I did that.
I did not.
Right?
I wish
so I can kind of get back.
I did not.
Yeah, I did that, and I'm glad just so I can get back with the MaXXXine character and kind of the trauma that she's been through with this one. So it's different though, man. I feel like Ty West effectively made 3 different films. There's like the raw like 70s slasher X. Pearl is like a character study, which we touched on before, similar to like your Joker-esque type of films.
Yeah.
And then this is like kind of like a 80s neo-noir detective
100%.
case. You know, it's cool, man. I like it. It fits what it had to do for me. I didn't need it to be an 80s slasher, right? So it's different, I would say. 100% it is different, but I would say overall I do like it, but not my favorite of the trilogy. But Mia Goth is awesome in this.
What is your order?
Oh, brother. Honestly, oh man. The more I sat with this film, the more I actually liked it. So I saw it Friday night.
Okay.
With a decent crowd. And at first I was kind of like, I don't know. Then I woke up the next day and I was like, you know what? I think I like that. And then it kind of sat with me for further and further until. And rewatching X before going into this, I feel like I have a new ranking.
Okay.
X, MaXXXine, Pearl. And that's crazy because I like Pearl a lot.
Wow, yeah. That means that these are going to be, like, as a trilogy of horror films, is this now, like, your highest ranking ones, you think? Like, as a trilogy?
No, it's up there. It's up there. Yeah, man. Definitely up there. I don't know if it's the highest off the top of my head, but it's certainly up there, man.
It's just
but
3 solid movies, isn't it? And like, at the end of the day.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like it's up there. Like maybe they don't have the peak that some of these other films may have, but I don't believe any of these are fucking Halloween fucking kills or whatever the fuck the name of that movie was. It sucks, and I will never watch it. Right? Like I don't think they have something this bad.
The middle one you're talking about, or Halloween?
Yeah. Or what's the third one? What's the last one? Ends.
Halloween Ends. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Both of them are just fucking bad. But like, so nonetheless, this trilogy doesn't have anything of that nature, in my opinion, right? So yeah, 3 solid films. I like it. We'll jump into spoilers though. I'll let Adam.
Yeah, I think like all 3 of these are better than like Exorcist Believer from last year.
100%.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I was just gonna say, you know, if you want a little sports reference, these are all base hits. Base hits win games.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
I think like the thing from the last 2 years that this one did remind me of a little bit, I guess in tone or like quality, or not, maybe not quality, but like in terms of tone and like maybe what was going for would be like a Late Night with the Devil or a Evil Dead Rise as well too. I think. But now Adam, I'm very interested to hear your point of view on this as our resident squeamish man.
You know what? I would fight against that, but it's relatively fair. I mean, you know, we've gotten better. I think really the only one that got me squeamish was Evil Dead, which I think is pretty fair. Like that's what those movies are.
High tension,
for sure.
High Tension, I didn't dislike because of the gore.
Oh, okay.
I disliked it because it was boring.
Part of
it. No. But
we could put you through
man,
Martyrs, man, at some point. Just you wait.
No, bro, don't do that to Adam. Please don't.
Have you seen Hostel?
Dude,
No.
don't.
Just don't. I think Adam I think Adam doesn't want to finish those movies. To be honest.
If we ever do Hostel, you are not allowed to watch it without me, Adam, because all I want to do is watch you.
If there's
Noted.
I'm trying to think of like a good gory movie that would be on there as well too. So, I mean, 7 goes a little bit of that ways in some ways. Were you okay with 7?
I was okay with 7. 7 doesn't really go there.
It's a lot more implied and like off the
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly. You don't see anything. That's part of the attraction. Anyway, we're not talking about 7. MaXXXine. I'm a really big fan actually. I had a really good time in this movie. And this is immediately walking out, I was like, this is probably my favorite one of the 3.
Okay.
Let's
just
go.
Kind of right off the bat. Yeah, this is had a lot of fun start to finish. Loved the style of the movie, as you guys have mentioned, kind of more that 80s style, 80s aesthetic, 80s setting. All works really well and is executed perfectly, and like even down to just like the them walking down the street, like definitely felt like the setting and there's this stores and aesthetic and everything.
The look of downtown Los Angeles in this movie rules. It definitely, it feels like a place where you'd be like, oh man, that would have been a cool place to hang out. Like dangerous as hell and grimy as shit.
Dangerous
but
as
like,
hell. Yeah.
It does seem like, oh yeah, they had a cool energy going in the movie.
100%. So yeah, Mia Goth is great once again. The script's fun. Kevin Bacon killed it. Giancarlo Esposito was a really funny character or actor to show up.
For sure, that's when I was
not expecting him. Yeah, I was not expecting him at all. But then, like, once he showed up, I was like, "This movie fucks." Like, I'm in. Like, Ty West got Giancarlo Esposito to come in and play this agent who's also like a pimp, kind of. I don't know. He's great. And yeah, just had a ton of fun. No alligator, which is a little disappointing.
But there was the reference.
Yeah.
There was the reference.
Yeah.
Yes. So I guess it was there. See the movie that we saw them watching. I need that movie, Ty West. I need that as the spinoff of this trilogy. But anyway, this movie was really fun.
The Puritan or whatever.
No. Wasn't there I thought the crocodile was like a clip from a horror movie they're watching.
Yeah. Okay. No, but
that's a deep.
We were talking.
What reference were you guys talking about?
Excuse me.
The star.
Oh, she's in the sequel to The Puritan.
Well, no, on the
Puritan's
we'll just go on spoilers.
Okay.
I mean, this isn't a spoiler, but she's standing on the star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. That's Theta Bara. That's that the alligator's named.
The alligator's name is Theta.
Got it. I didn't catch that. I forgot that. Okay, I didn't catch that part because I did see the camera pause on the star, and I didn't get that right away. So that makes sense now. I'm pretty sure.
No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
There's a shot of an alligator.
Yeah, the guy, the video store clerk is watching it in the video store, and it cuts to him on there. Yeah.
Right. Now I need that movie released in theaters.
That's
called
Lake
Lake
Placid.
Placid.
Let's go.
Wait, that's a real movie?
No.
Well, every movie
that's the movie you guys keep asking if I've seen. Got it. Okay.
I did think of that though when they showed the alligator.
All right, maybe I need to watch Lake Placid. Maybe I don't need Ty West to do anything.
You should watch Lake Placid.
I mean, it was just 4th of July weekend. That was the time to do it.
Oh,
really?
Is it a 4th of July movie?
I feel like it is.
I mean, it's not bad. It's not a bad pick.
Or it's at least like a summer Memorial Day.
Summer camp kind of vibes.
Lake Placid's so funny.
It's fucking great.
It's so good.
Sorry. Back to MaXXXine.
Anyway, I'm definitely recommend, especially if you've seen the other 2 movies
Good.
in the trilogy already. Really had a good time here. And I don't know, maybe I'd like Pearl if I watched all 3 like consecutively. I don't know. Maybe I should rewatch X and kind of get a refresher on that. I mean, I remember having a good time with it, just don't remember being as high as you guys were on it. But yeah, overall, like great conclusion to the trilogy, great ending to like the story of MaXXXine. And yeah, really had a good time with it. So we can go ahead and head into spoilers. I'm assuming recommend all around.
Well, Nathaniel was a no at first, so
Nathaniel's
now we
a not.
need to know. Now we need to know if we've done enough.
Yeah,
Have we done enough?
I will join the. You've convinced me, boys. I'm
One
coming
of
on.
us.
I'm coming
One
on board.
of us.
I'm on board the
One
MaXXXine
of
train.
us.
MaXXXine number 1 on the Entropy list. You heard it here first.
Kevin Bacon, baby.
I'd like it more than what we currently got on there.
That's a good bit you got going on there, Nathaniel. That's hilarious. You're a funny guy. We're going to go ahead and head into spoilers. So if you've not seen MaXXXine and did not want it spoiled for you, go ahead, check that episode description where we have left a timestamp you could jump to where you'll be taken to the ranking of the movie Up Upon our glorious Entropy list. Spoiler time, Nathaniel. What we got this week?
Ooh, I've got choices. Let's see.
I mean, you've always have choices.
I know, but I actually have to like bend
That's
forward now.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Right. Spoilers, folks. Shit goes down.
Shit goes down.
Shit goes down.
And gets crushed. Lots of crushing in this movie.
Ugh.
Yeah, man. So
Talk
this
about
is
cringing like right
not
off the
quite
rip.
the film I thought it was gonna be.
Agreed.
But I guess I didn't really know what I was walking into. For lack of a better
None of
term,
these
right?
movies have been what I thought they're gonna be.
For sure. So,
So,
I was kind of like, all right, I'm just
I
in for the
knew
ride.
to not expect anything
Yeah.
and just be surprised and have a good time, and that's exactly what happened. I was not expecting a cult Satan ritual being filmed as like a Hollywood movie to be the finale of of this trilogy, but here we are.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, let's talk about Kevin Bacon for a moment. Why I got him, which I believe is this the first Kevin Bacon film on the entry list? I believe so. Strangely enough.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Trying to looking at his entry list, don't see.
But yeah, man. When I saw him originally listed in this one, like they were kind of doing the promo and everything for this, and then having jumped into theaters the other day, I think he loved every single second of it. He stills every fucking scene he's in when he's in it.
Had a blast. I had a
From
blast
the gold
watching
teeth to the accent, for sure, bro, for sure.
His when he walks out or chases her to the psycho house, and then the security
Oh,
guard
hilarious.
walks up, and he just instantly turns on the weird Southern charm that he's got. Like,
Yeah.
you're just like, you've just met that guy before, and
I
like,
work insecure to myself.
yeah, where you're just like, God, you know, I know that you're bullshitting me. You know that you're bullshitting me, but we're gonna both have to do this dance because you're deciding to be this person, kind of thing. And you're just
Yeah.
like, ugh. But yeah, I think you know, this movie subverts expectations, quote unquote, big fancy letters, with almost immediately with MaXXXine as the like she don't take no shit, and if you're gonna fuck with her, then you're gonna get fucked with back, and like maybe you don't want that, and that's so interesting. I as a viewer and as a seasoned movie viewer, I feel like was like watching it, and as soon as it started with the father filming her and doing saying the bit from X
Sure.
of I'm gonna get the life that I deserve or whatever.
Right.
I was like, oh yeah, that's right. X has that whole kind of subplot, which isn't really remarked on in X. It's kind of just in the background, and you almost miss it if you're not paying attention. And that immediately was like, okay, well, I know where this film might be going here. And then as soon as you had the kind of like mysterious guy that was looking for her, I was like, well, clearly it's her dad. I don't know where everyone else was at on that in the viewing process. Detective Adam, did you have it picked
Yes.
early?
I pretty early on figured out who was who. Yeah.
Gotcha. So yeah, like I felt like from that perspective there was nothing that was like, or I was never really like what's the one we're looking for? Bought in or like really concerned with the mystery of it all.
Sure.
But that didn't make the reveal and the insanity of the final 20 minutes any less entertaining in my mind.
No, not at all. I think anybody that's an avid horror movie goer probably
Thriller.
found out the plot of this before the twist came along. But
Sure.
I mean, honestly, like kind of like what you said, it's not groundbreaking. We've seen this before. This is a formula.
That feels like a plot point that was set up in X. That
Sure.
like it didn't necessarily like, it feels like a natural extension of that plot without it feeling like a direct sequel to like, because of the events that happened in X, this is now happening.
Right.
It was more like because of your choices at the very start of X, this is kind of now happening in that thing.
Sure.
I don't know about, do you wish, or I don't know if you wish, but I feel like they should have recast the dad in between the X and this and gotten a more charismatic actor, because I didn't buy him as much as I bought Mia Goth, which that might just because Mia Goth is awesome, but like he just felt like he was in a different movie in some ways.
Yeah, there was some mismatch there. I would agree, where it just didn't feel like they were on the same page for like the tone of the characters that they were acting in.
Though I will also admit "you're the star" with the hands bit did really get me.
Spirit fingers.
Yeah.
It felt like I would have much preferred him to almost like flip a switch once the camera came on.
Sure. Yeah.
To like become the character that is even without the camera off. You know what I mean? Like, not that he can't be the crazy Christian pastor, whatever, that kind of thing, but like he was kind of all the way there the whole time. Whereas, like I would have rather it flipped a little bit.
I think it's the fact that Kevin Bacon also outperforms him with like,
for sure,
like obviously a tenth of like the screen presence that he like gets overall in the end, kind of thing. Like
100%.
If you could go back in time and cast Kevin Bacon as the dad in X, and then like have him brought back into this one and that thing, that would have been chef's kiss. But I think that was really the big thing for me, was I just felt like maybe I was curious to see for most people that maybe weren't going in having not rewatched X, if the ending would work for them, or if they found themselves really like, oh, this is just, this movie worked for the first 3 quarters, but now it's really falling apart kind of thing. And I felt like maybe for me, I got a little bit, more that feeling.
Sure.
But overall, still, like I said, there was so much I liked about this movie.
Yeah. I definitely understand where you're coming from. I am okay with the choice that they made. His makeup kind of threw me.
Oh,
yeah. You know what I mean? Which I think is also just kind of, his type of crazy.
Well, and I think that also is that, like, where Ty West is always kind of, like, setting his filmmaking style in the era that it's from as well, too. So,
100%.
like, that's very 80s.
Yeah. 100%. Well, yeah, where you could totally tell there's, like, a clear difference in shade of skin between his face and, like, his neck.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that's how they used to do it. That's how they used to kind of make things pop a little bit more.
Yeah.
And, but, yeah, I thought it was such a great choice. I actually liked that he was just a fucking crazy human being the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
I love the leather glove shots that we were talking about, and like just all like that's how fucking mad he is.
Yeah.
And
breaking the shelves or whatever, or that railing.
Yeah. And he's clearly got some kind of following who also might be crazy people, but I think you got to be somewhat crazy to follow a crazy person.
It feels like it's like a 70s 80s movie with like a mid-thousands twist. Like that's what you see in those like Darkness Fall. That's like a Darkness Falls level twist or something at the end.
Oh,
like,
wow.
But you know what I'm talking about, where like there was that distinct period in like the early thousands where they were like, our horror movies need to be more extreme, and the way to do that is A, quick cut editing with strobe effects, and B, like the wildest twists you can ever think of.
100%.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, all right. As soon as she crushes those balls, I was like, "Oh fuck, we're back. We are back in the Ty West universe, baby." I was just like, God.
Actually, I was sold even prior to that. So I was sold. One. It starts with that. It's just a one take long shot of just following Mia Goth throughout. Like, I don't know. It's like the strip club, then like some fucking restaurant and something else.
Yep.
Which is really cool. But then nonetheless, then it cuts to her doing the audition for the Puritan 2.
Yep.
But I was sold when she puts on a performance for that. She's obviously talking about trauma and the things that she's been through, and they're taking it as acting, so she starts crying. But then she's able to mask that up right away. But I was sold when she walks out, and there's the line of people similar to Pearl, right when she walks out the audition, and then she's like, "You guys might as well go home because I just fucking killed that shit." And that's when I was like,
good.
Yeah, I love that scene. I love that she can just turn it on like that. And then I love when they cut back to where she was like, I really love what you said in there. Do you mean it?
Yeah.
And you're just thinking about like, just the audition. And then it cuts to what she actually said. And I'm like, that's fucking great.
Yeah.
Such a great little tidbit. But yeah, I absolutely thought she nailed it. Mia Goth is like the star of the show.
She is, man, clearly.
For sure. This is one I'm sure she hangs her hat on to be the focal point in all three of these films. Then with this one, it's so goofy because it's tonally different than the other two. Like somebody talked about like the fucking Scooby-Doo chase scene they have through like the town between her and Kevin Bacon, which is just funny as hell to me. And it lasts like, it's just really goofy too. And Kevin Bacon's got this goofy ass 80s outfit on, and he's running like a madman.
And then the cop shows up.
Yeah, I love.
Yeah, it's like that's all I thought. See, this is right out of Scooby-Doo.
I love how every time like she gets into so many situations that you're so used to the female characters in movies just immediately being a situation where they end up the victim, right?
Sure.
Like, and her reaction of just immediate over the top violence is just such a fun gut punch as an audience member, where you're just like, yes, you should have your keys in your hand and just beat the shit out of Kevin Bacon.
Fucking rowdy, dude.
But then the payoff where you're just like, no, I kind of wanted to get away with it too. Like when they put him in that car crush area, you're like, yeah, fuck
the
that guy.
Yeah, 100%.
Yo, that was gnarly.
Pretty cool kill, by the way.
Yeah, it was
great.
insane.
Also, there's no way that's all blood.
No, that was definitely. There's some poop in there too.
He would have to get way more crushed than with that car.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, he's dead. He's definitely bleeding. Like, no doubt about it, but not that much blood
Well,
came
then
out
leaving
of him.
the dogs to go up after it and to everything, and just as you said earlier, Adam, Giancarlo Esposito.
Just smoking a cig.
Yeah.
Fucking, I love
and
that.
I forgot what his line is. He's like, don't worry, we'll take it from here. Some cheesy
something
shit like that.
I love his like cheesy
I think he
shit
said
in
like
the
go
office
practice your
too.
lines or something like that.
Yeah, go home, practice your lines.
Nobody
we'll
is
take
more
care of it.
invested in your career than I am.
Yeah, it's so good. But it's so funny because like you're sitting in that office and you're just like, whatever, dude. This guy's a fucking all talk, and then he fucking shows up.
No,
like,
exactly.
Yeah, right.
You're used to his stereotype
I'm
being
like,
like
let's
the blow off
go.
manager.
Yeah, no, he's like,
he's got 100 clients, doesn't care about any of them. He's
you
trying to make money and,
immediately like have a vision of this character as a person existing in that world where like he does just genuinely find girls in porn and give them a somewhat better life.
100%.
It seems like that's just such an odd character, especially for Giancarlo Esposito to play. That we're just all used to Gus Fring, and like obviously
he's also like a Saul Goodman.
Yeah.
Bit,
That's what I'm saying. We're used to him just being obviously pure evil whenever we see him. Or what was he in Mandalorian? Count or Darth or something. But to have him on the
Darth.
to have him on the the side of the angels in this one was funny. Her homeboy gets fucked up by the dad though in that video store.
All the kills were just
they were pretty gnarly.
Insane, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, you get him getting fucked up with the knife.
The knife through the eye. It's the back of the neck and then the eye. Where I was like, I don't know if I've ever seen anyone get sliced in the back of the neck like that. What is that?
That's how you kill Titans, dude.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that looks like.
Right. That was good. No, I thought it was also really satisfying that they let Mia Goth blow off her dad's head at the end. They didn't like hold back because like the helicopter was waiting. It was just like, nah, I'm gonna do it.
Shotgun decapitation, baby.
Yeah. With the practical effects there too, just makes you and that much more cheesy too. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like these movies are like the end all be all in like showing that practical effects are just better. Like, I don't need it to be more realistic. Like, I like the cheesiness of it. I just want it to. Because I don't want it to be realistic. I don't want to know what it looks like for someone's head to actually explode. I want the weird, like, gooey corn bag full of
pumpkin smash.
That's kind of what it looks like.
It's not what it looks like when you smash someone's testicles. Like.
Yeah.
It's all gonna be pretty
Tyler's
accurate.
over here with his ambulance experience. Anyways,
Jesus, don't tell me
that
anymore.
ballistic dummy. Like you see those videos with ballistic dummies getting blown apart. That's fucking real, dude.
Well, okay. So speaking of which, in this movie we get the bit with the molding, the special effects maker.
Oh, like
Sure.
The face molding.
And that's the second.
That made me uncomfortable. That's probably like the most uncomfortable that was in this whole movie.
It's so funny that's the second time in probably as many weeks. One, I had a scene that was very similar to that I read in a book this last week, and then two, seeing that in the film where everyone has talked and commented on like how actually claustrophobic that whole process is because
for sure
you can't see anything, you can't move your mouth, you can only breathe through your nose.
Yo, what a nuts move for that chick to leave the room.
I was like, so it's gonna be on for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I'll be back.
Gonna be
I'll be
right
back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, could you imagine the
Like it's
liability
a movie,
factor?
obviously,
It's just-
but like in real life, that's a lawsuit.
Yeah, 100%. There's like 10 people in that room just in case.
It's basically it's like having a VR headset on and your buddies are just around. You just know you're in danger, but you don't quite know where it's from.
Yeah. A fun fact I was able to come up on in that special effects scene that there's some there's other makeup that you can see in the background because they're supposed to be in a special effects room for a movie. And they have some stuff in there that actually be some of the character X. Right? So you can see somebody like with a hole in their head from a pitchfork. Stuff of that nature. So yeah, man, it's they did their due diligence for the small. I didn't pick up on any of that on my actual viewing. Only thing I was able to pick up on was the star situation in the gator.
Yeah, for sure.
See, I did not pick up on the.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool little Easter egg. How about the fucking the duck full of cocaine, the cookie jar?
Oh yeah,
yeah, that was cool too.
That was great.
Who doesn't like?
She just opens that shit up.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is 80s. A lot of cocaine going around, especially in Hollywood.
Of course.
I thought it was so cool to bring like the protests into it. The Night Stalker thing I thought was pretty cool. I've watched documentaries and stuff like that on the Night Stalker situation.
I don't know why. I just never knew. Like, I knew that guy existed. I never knew everything like about like what he's the worst.
Dude, there's a doc on it. Yeah, you said you listen to a podcast.
Yeah.
Dude, it's wild. So yeah, it was cool to see the aspect of them bringing that in, kind of tying that into like the whole Hollywood scenario, and then tying it back to the story.
That time period.
Yep, that's exactly how like what I was saying earlier on. Like that's obviously not real. That's not her dad. If he was obviously someone's dad. Well, maybe, I don't know if he had kids. But it was cool to bring that kind of all in.
Yeah, I thought that was.
Sure.
I was curious how it was all going to tie together for sure, and I think obviously it doesn't 100% tie into the Night Stalker, there,
Right?
But
Yeah.
was an interesting set piece for it.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
I think if there's anything questionable about this film from the masses, it's the third act, right?
And
how it ties all the way back into
X, yeah.
Yeah, and I think I would imagine prior to that, most people are probably on the film. I think that's the one where most people would come out and say, it's like, good movie, but they dropped the ball.
And I thought it was the bit with like the Bobby Cannavale and Michelle Monaghan characters that are just kind of like Michelle Monaghan gets stabbed in the eye with a crucifix and just walks off screen, never to be seen again. I want to know what happened.
I told you I'd get him.
So, Adam, is this in the same ballpark as Malignant for you? I was going to say Malignant.
Yeah, kinda.
Is it that same
Still
kind
some of that 70s Giallo film,
100%
type of thing. Black slick coat, leather gloves. It's definitely very similar
bit.
for sure.
Blake, my question.
Malignant's just such like a wonderful blend of genre. That's kind of why I liked it a lot. But
Yeah, Malignant's awesome.
I guess this has got a lot of the same stuff going on. And then really quick, on that third act, I had a great time in the third act, to be honest. Like I love the little like Miami Vice almost action
Police
sequence.
shootout.
Yeah. I love when she's like, cover me, and no one's shooting, and they're behind cover. And
Cover me,
moving.
I'm reloading.
Like, cover me, I need to reload, and no one's shooting. Like it was great.
Everyone,
like the one guy, priest guy pulls out his gun first, gets shot, and then like you're like, oh, no one else has a gun. Nope, everyone has a gun. So good.
Yeah, everyone for some reason is doing the like when they fire a gun, they use both hands.
Yeah,
like no one is one fisting it or holding it sideways.
It was perfect. It was so good.
Seeing Bobby Cannavale as one of the cops just always cracks me up. I only think of him in Other Guys.
Oh, sure.
That's exactly what I was.
Will Ferrell's like talking. He's like, "Cut the shit."
You're telling me you've never done a desk pop?
Yeah. But yeah, he's funny as shit. So seeing him in like a role like that, it is always funny.
I mean, I like how they made this kind of meta with the character, was it Leon, I believe, who works at the DVD store.
Yeah.
So they're in there and they're usually like in the horror. If you're like paying attention to the background movies, you see other classic horror movies from the 60s and 70s, and it's even meta with some actual dialogue. Mia Goth's character come in, she's like, "Hey, I finally got the scene in Pearson 2," and they're well, what are you gonna do being in a horror? They're like, name 5 people who have got their start to Hollywood in a horror movie. And they name like Jamie Lee Curtis, John Travolta, and a few other people. So it's just really cool to see them kind of bring that full circle. Then I think Mia Goth comes back and she's like, and MaXXXine fucking Minx. Or I think that's supposed to be the 5th person or something like that. So yeah, man, they made it the full circle meta moment of real life horror for that point in time. So yeah, overall, man, I liked it. It grew on me over time, for sure.
I think it's gonna keep growing on us as we go on and other people. I think there is truly a point in time where I reach that I actually do like this better than X. I think because of the setting of this movie as well. It's one of those movies that like if I'm like home alone on like like a Friday night or something like that, it's like 65 50 degrees out, like I'm lighting a candle, windows are open, it's raining, I could see myself putting this movie on and just kind of feeling that vibe, because it's like rainy and dingy sometimes in this movie, and it's good. I think they did I think Ty West and team did a great job.
Yeah, to your point, I think this is one that will eventually end up being my most watched of the trilogy. Right?
Really?
Where it's like anytime I want to be back in this world, I think this is the 2, 6, 7, 10 years from now.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm very interested to see how this movie ages, or the series of movie ages as a trilogy, and kind of like where
I
that will
agree.
be out there, and like what people end up like preferring at the end of the day over time and all.
I think this will come out on top.
You really think so? I don't know. I feel like it's gonna end up being Pearl.
I think it's this
really
or
do.
X.
I really think it's gonna end up
It's
being
so
Pearl.
funny that we all have different answers.
I feel like.
I mean,
well, Adam's the tiebreaker.
It's great though, because like there's something for everybody. Like you probably like one of these 3 movies, and you're probably gonna hold one of these 3 movies pretty close to you. So that's what I like about the trilogies. Like we can all have different answers, and like I'm not mad at any of them. They're all pretty valid.
Right.
I think they all
now
do
I will
really
say
well.
though.
Go ahead.
I would say what I will say though is I do believe objectively this is the worst film.
Interesting.
I think I'm probably with you on that.
Yes. And I would say objectively the best film is Pearl.
I think I'm with you on that as well too.
Adam, looks like you're in a disagreement on that one.
I don't know. I think Pearl was great. Maybe I'd like it more if I haven't listened to your guys' review of it fully.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll go over what you guys say about it, and maybe it'll grow on me. But watching it initially, liked the movie.
Yeah.
Just wasn't what I was expecting, and didn't blow me away particularly, and just it wasn't the fun characters and spontaneity and like weird kills and like I don't know, just kind of like randomness almost that X and MaXXXine have, and that I kind of enjoyed out of these movies. It was definitely, as you said earlier, like more of a character study, which is great, and it served its purpose as like a prequel to X, and had a lot of good things going for it. And I think in terms of performance, that was probably Mia Goth's best performance out of the 3 movies. I think she's like incredible in that movie. But objectively speaking, I would say this or X is probably. Or I don't know. If you're looking at it objectively, like in terms of movie making and stuff, Pearl's probably the best of the 3, I would say. But I still had a great time with this one. Like just as like in overall personal enjoyment and like that kind of thing. Like this is definitely gonna be my favorite of the 3.
For sure. And there's something to be said about this one being the biggest film too, quote unquote, which I'm sure it is for budget and just scale and everything.
I think that's the first
2. For sure, man. Where the first 2 are definitely products of like COVID, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
Where there's like 6 characters, 1 location, basically the entire fucking film. Which does fare well for horror movies.
Right.
Right. So just totally different films.
I was just gonna say earlier that I think it's great that these movies all do very well on a solo basis as well. If you were going to take somebody that hadn't seen any of these and I wanted to show them MaXXXine first, you wanted to show them X first, you wanted to show them Pearl first, I think it's cool that anywhere you could be, you don't necessarily had to have seen the first one or the other one to be so much involved. It can still do a really good job on a solo basis. Obviously, this helps a little bit if you watch X before. But still, even if you did it in a different order, it would still play out to be a pretty halfway decent solo movie.
See, for me, that's I think where another area where I wasn't quite with the movie in the same way, where I felt like Pearl and X were so separated yet linked. They had the crossover character, but in terms of tone, style, and aesthetic, they were almost completely different. And I was hoping, I think, for MaXXXine to be more of that, where it ended up being much more linked into X than
interlinked.
I was within cells interlinked
Within cells.
Than I was anticipating and kind of expecting overall. And maybe that, like I said, that's on me where my expectations weren't met, and I had to kind of adjust that after seeing the film.
Sure.
Very valid.
Yeah, I totally agree. I do hate that they did miss the joke of or even the joke, just the meta reference of when they were naming actors and actresses who got their break in horror and listing Kevin Bacon because he's in the original Friday the 13th.
That would have been good.
So like they did, yeah. Whoever wrote that fumbled that one for sure.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon's
Sorry,
the
Adam.
one that like always plays jerks, but is actually really nice. And then Sean Penn is the one. I get him confused with Sean Penn all the time, who I think is actually kind of a jerk in real life, or has at least been angry with people in public before in real life. Kevin Bacon, everything I've ever heard, he just sounds like a sweetheart.
I think he's great.
I don't know.
Been married to Keira Sedgwick for a long time now.
There's
I
a
didn't know
there's
that.
a movie that you should watch with him just going like ape shit. Fuck. I think it's like Silent something.
Stir of Echoes.
No.
Damn.
Well, you
I'll
find
try and
that
find
Ty.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, you go ahead, find that time. I'm gonna get us out of here. Spoilers, I'm assuming we're all good here.
He's in
Anyone else
Wild
have
Things,
anything
isn't
else?
he?
He is in Wild Things.
Let's get that on the pod.
All right, welcome back, listeners who skipped over the spoilers segment of the podcast. We're gonna go ahead and throw up MaXXXine up upon our Entropy list. For those of you who do not know, the Entropy list is Back Row Banter's official list of all the movies we have reviewed, regardless of genre, regardless of anything else, all on one fantastic list. This is essentially how we rate our movies. Rather do it out of 5 stars, out of 10, whatever it is. We throw up all the movies we review on a list and see how they compare to one another. If you want to view the Entropy list for yourself, you can do so by checking that episode description where I've left a link where you can be taken to the ranking list on our my Letterboxd. What episode is this? We got episode 197. Cool. Let's see. Where's X on this list? We have X at. It's hard Command F searching this because there's a lot of movies with the letter X in them.
Death Sentence, by the way.
It's Death Sentence.
That's Kevin
I don't
Bacon's
know what
movie
that
that
is.
you should watch. Death Sentence. Sorry. I figured I'd get it out before I forget it again.
Isn't
Yeah,
that
no,
like
you're
James
good.
Wan? I think he directed that.
X is at 106 and Pearl landed at 115.
It is, yeah.
It is James Wan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Adam.
That was James Wan.
Oh, good.
Adam's like, shut the fuck up.
That was his only other action movie before they gave him Furious 7 and when he was just making low budget horror movies. Sorry, boys.
Noted. So yeah, 106 for X, 115 for Pearl. Malignant was mentioned earlier. That's at 95. We got Barbarian right below that at 96. So all, kind of horror movies clustering in the, mid 90s to kind of all the way down to like the 120s ish is a good cluster of horror films, I would say. Does this break the mold, gentlemen? Does this get higher than a 90 here? If anyone has a ranking, go ahead, shout it out. You have an idea of where you're going.
Yeah, I'm scrolling through here. Once you kind of get to that horror purgatory, for lack of a better term, I can't put it above 94, 90, 96, right? That's just I can't do that one. I do like this film a lot, though.
That's fair.
But then I'm working my way down through kind of the second lane. Then I'm seeing like Doctor Strange, American Gangster, Creed 3, which I got. But then I'm looking at like Last Night in Soho, which is I can see is kind of similar to this in terms of like color palette, time frame when the movie's made, right? Anya Taylor-Joy, Mia Goth, right? There's kind of some things going on there, and I actually do think maybe because this encompasses a larger picture because it's part of the trilogy, that I would prefer MaXXXine over Last Night in Soho.
Fuck.
So I think like 108's my floor. Right.
Okay.
And then working up from there, it's like, I mean, it's tough. I think I'm gonna stick to my gut because I said I can't put it above X. I mean, it has the rewatchability, Bill felt. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm going 100. Actually, I'm gonna go 101 behind Soul.
You got soul.
Yeah. Shout out my man who's
101.
waving the board. I always forget that
Below-
guy's name, but he's an all-timer.
Man, I always forget his name too. And it's something like
something
Wonder
Moon.
Moon, yeah. Spirit Moon or something
Moon
like
baby.
that.
No, yeah, it's Moon Dancer. Moon Dancer.
Moon Dancer.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. That guy's an all-time side character on this Entropy list for sure.
I forgot about that guy.
101 on the Entropy list.
I got a
BlakeHolder, below
spot.
Soul above and above Creed 3. Nathaniel has a spot he would like to share with the group.
111. Below,
Okay.
it's The Strangers, folks.
Mm.
The Strangers.
Okay, that's valid. That is valid.
Strangers is better than this, and I will not hear otherwise. But this is better than The Conjuring 2, and I feel like that's a pretty good split there overall.
Yeah.
And that would put it actually in between X and Pearl on the Entropy list itself. So I feel like that's strong, and that's where I'm gonna put it.
Do you know where you want to go, Adam?
I have I'm between 3 spots. I'm kind of debating. I'm kind of debating Fall Guy as what do I like more? Because I had a really good time in Fall Guy.
Fall Guy is
really good time in Fall Guy.
Sure.
And just overall, I'm trying to think of my feeling coming out of the theater from both movies. I probably enjoyed Fall Guy more, so I'm probably going to put it right below that at 105 above Prey, because I definitely like this above Prey, and I kind of have to put it above Exit since I like it more. The Strangers is killing me though, Nathaniel. The Strangers is the one where I really want that to be my ceiling, but then X is above The Strangers, so I'm kind of stuck. Where I really want to put it at 111 where you're at, because I don't want to, so I just want on the record that The Strangers and even Late Night with the Devil, I would consider maybe putting it or putting those above this one, but for the sake of this trilogy and kind of ranking it up against X, and there's other movies in here like Prey. I definitely like MaXXXine more than Prey, like it more than Last Night in Soho, probably like it more than The Menu, even though that's solid. I just had a really good time here, so yeah, I'm cool with putting this at 105, right below Fall Guy and above Prey. I think that's a fine spot.
And that audible "oh my god" was not to you detailing where you wanted to put the list. It was me clicking the box, and it's a 2.9.
Ooh.
MaXXXine is a 2.9.
No, The Strangers.
Oh,
it's a 2.9. I don't know why that's so low.
IMDb, it's not very high either for some reason.
Oh my god! But you go to the menu. The menu's high.
I know people love The Menu, dude. I don't know what it is.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, Strangers is a 6.1 on IMDb.
Oh my gosh, it's almost a 5. It's almost a 5 point.
That movie is one of the scariest.
It'd be one of the best 5-pointers of all time.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good.
No. Also, Nathaniel, did you watch the new Strangers?
I did not.
Strangers Chapter 1. I heard that movie fucking sucks.
I saw the trailers and I was just like that. I think I texted the group chat and I was just like, I will not bless this film with my fucking presence, and I'm a piece of shit. I don't want to see that movie. It genuinely feels like someone bought the name and was just like, we're gonna make a Strangers movie.
Yeah.
Everything I saw about it looked like ass.
For sure. I've seen just nothing but people rip on it, so was just curious if anybody actually sat and
I'm sure in 2 months Ryan Hollinger will have a great video just annihilating it or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that movie looked like a shameless cash grab.
For sure. All right. Who's left? Is it
Just me?
It's Mr. Ty West Ty.
Quiet Place is tough for me. I think I enjoy this more than I like Fall Guy. I already said that I think I'm going to like this more than I like X's. Kind of time just moves on.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
And yeah, Soul's pretty dope. So I think Blake nailed it. I think I'm gonna be at 101 as well.
All right.
101 for Ty. Averages out to a 104.5, which means I was right once again, ladies and gentlemen. Right below the Fall Guy and above Prey.
There you go.
So it
There you
turns
go.
out to be the highest rated on the Entropy.
Yes, it does.
Interesting.
That is interesting. I don't know if I expected
MaXXXine
that coming
X
in.
Pearl. No, I don't think so either. I don't know.
But I'm happy we're here, fellas. Yeah. Very happy we're here. All right, that's MaXXXine. Got that up there on the Entropy list at 105. Low Fall Guy above Prey. So that's going to do it for our review segment here this week. Next week, we're back with another horror movie. One that, if you're on film Twitter, you may have heard some buzz about.
Top 10.
You think it's top 10? Okay. Oof, that's bold.
I'm just going to go in biased, and I don't care if I hate the movie or not. I'm putting it at 10 just for Micah Monroe being in there.
That's, you know what? I don't hate that take. Longlegs, everybody. Not the spider type. It's a movie. I don't know what it's about. I know it's a horror movie, and I know it's supposed to be very good. So go ahead, check out Longlegs. It's in theaters. And then join us for a review of that next week. Yeah, back-to-back horror. We're going to head out of here pretty quick. There's a long post-pod sequence coming for you, so we're going to get out of here as soon as possible. However, we do have an email from Mr. Ryan Foley, top listener of the pod, top fan of the pod, has been supporting for a while. Ryan Foley writes in with the subject line, "Yo!" with an exclamation point. He said, "Sup, bros? Just wanted to stop by and say happy 4-year anniversary. This podcast has been a big part of my weekly routine for 4 years. Car rides, morning runs, walks, etc. And I am stoked to have been able to know and hang with you all. I'm stoked to have been able to know and hang with you all. Cheers to another 4 years, brothers. Thank you for making great content for a nerd like me. Ryan Foley. P.S. Just finished a rewatch of Dune 2, and good lord, that movie rules. Peace out, homies." Wow, I love Ryan Foley even more now.
Shut up, Foley, man. Great guy.
Shout out, Foley.
Ryan
Great
Foley
guy.
is a gem of a human, and one of the good ones. Salt of the earth.
You're not gonna be mad at him for saying.
I was waiting on the Dune 2 slander.
I don't know if you're allowed to be mad at Foley.
No, it can't be.
Know,
Adam Schwartz, piece of shit, hates.
Valid.
Has no idea if a good movie bit him in the ass, but Ryan Foley knows what's up.
Ryan Foley knows.
Yeah. All right, I'll trust his opinion then. But thank you, Ryan. Appreciate you tuning in for all this time and
yes, sir.
Of course.
Your emails. You've definitely written in more than probably anybody else. I know Waz has written in quite a few times, but
it's true.
There
was a time they were going toe to toe, but I think Ryan has been more consistent.
I think at this point Ryan has been more
Foley's
consistent.
Foley's got a kid too.
He does.
He does have a kid, so that's impressive. And he also is consistent with "Thanks for making content for a nerd like me." I think that's in.
Yeah, he's got his own little. He's got his own little.
Yeah, he's got his own little sign off.
Like
he's better than us. He's more consistent than we are with that. So I'm impressed. But thank you, Ryan, and thank you anyone else who's been listening for 1 episode, 2 episodes, 197, or however many. We appreciate you guys listening, of course.
Saw the bump last week after going public with the Mags Up connection, and we appreciate that. We're we do have any new listeners, thanks for joining. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks for coming back.
Yeah. Or if you were just like a regular listener that checked it out on YouTube, Adam, I don't know if you heard the.
I did. I've been keeping up a little bit.
But yeah, so that's been cool. If you're here from Mags Up, or if you're just one of our regulars that just watch the video, let us know if you do enjoy that on a more regular basis. If you do, it might be something that we have to change and do more often. And yeah, but we appreciate the love.
Yeah, definitely looking to do video more. We're gonna just figure out, we're not where we were in the pandemic, and it's not as easy to get 4 of us in a room together on a weekly basis.
True.
So it's gonna just be a process of figuring out what recording in 3 or 4 different places looks like when we're remote. So that is in the works. So we will hopefully be doing more videos soon. But yeah, we had fun doing that last week for sure. Hope you guys had fun watching that. And then stay tuned for more video. Going to be working on that pretty soon. Let's get on out of here. Longlegs next week. Show plugs here. Please follow the podcast. Follow us on Twitter, Banter Row, Instagram Back Row Banter Pod, and our YouTube is just Back Row Banter. Stay tuned there for more YouTube or for more video content. And then share the podcast with a friend, a family member, a Hollywood actress, or
a dad, a religious father figure that you have that went
a religious
fucking
father
nuts.
figure you
If
have in your life.
If you know porn stars, I mean, they've got good marketing, I think.
True, that's true. Yeah, they
There
got
we
a
go.
huge following.
Yeah.
OnlyFans, content creators, whatever
There
they're
you go.
called
Yeah.
today. All right. Yeah. Sure.
PIs named Kevin Bacon. If you know any of them,
If you know Kevin Bacon.
yeah, fucking let
Yeah.
him know, please.
And then also, quick shout out to Mags Up. We are a Mags Up podcast, I guess, if you want to say that. Part of the Mags Up
Ooh,
content
that
crew
feels
over there.
good. That sounds
Yeah.
nice, doesn't it? We're a Mags Up podcast.
It's got a ring to it.
Yeah, it
It
does.
does have a ring to it.
On the
We'll have
content
their,
creation side of things, as I think was,
Yes, we are.
was the direct quote.
I'll be adding their social stuff in the episode description there. You can find them on Twitter. Follow them there. Follow their other content creators too. So yeah, shout out them. We'll keep it going here. BlakeHolder, where can the people find you at, my man?
Yo, Letterboxd, BlakeHolder. I'll be on there, logging some things, rating them out of 5 stars. PlayStation, Xbox, Instagram, Mr. Watercooler. Add me because I'm gonna go ahead and 25. So, granted, I do think that's only current gen, so I'm gonna have to get that on PlayStation. So add me on PSN, Mr. Watercooler. I'm gonna start a franchise. If Montana's attainable, I would do it for Montana. Shout out to Nathaniel. If not, I don't know. Maybe like a UTEP or like New Mexico State or something like that. And just
ECU.
yeah. Or to your point, ECU. We'll go from there. I'll pass it to. Let's go to Ty.
You can find me on Instagram, Letterboxd, and X, all Tyler Vidales, Vidales, Nathaniel.
You can find me on Twitter and Letterboxd at NS Gingrich. Sandpiper Tapes is my other podcast. Nathaniel G92 on Instagram. Adam, take us on out of here.
You can find me on Twitter at Aish24, on Letterboxd at Aish. I think that's going to do it here for episode 197. Thank you all for listening, especially if you made it this far into the episode. You're my favorite type of listener, and we really do appreciate it. Join us next week for our review of Longlegs. We'll BRB.
America. Ready for another lesson.
I haven't heard anything about this, so this is news to me.
Haven't heard anything about what?
Sketch.
Oh, so I guess like 3 days ago now. I think it was either Monday or Tuesday.
It's recording, by the way.
Or
16,
yeah.
17, 18.
On Monday, I believe it was. It was leaked / I don't know, just revealed that I don't know if the video was leaked or what happened. I haven't seen any video, but that Sketch, who if you like don't know Sketch, he's the What's Up Brother guy.
Yeah, I know who Sketch is.
Yeah. He.
Sorry if that sounded like very like shut the fuck up.
No. I was saying it more for
apologize.
Blake than anything.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know
Caught
who he
up fully.
is. I have no idea.
So if you've heard the What's Up Brother and like seen that, people saying that kind of thing. Tuesday.
Right.
He's got a lot of quotables. That's Sketch.
I don't
he
know that.
had a, anyway, he's blown up the last 6 months. He had even like a pick at the NFL draft for the Texans because like half the time when he streams, he's in a Texans jersey.
Oh wow.
Dude,
okay.
this
So,
kid's
yeah.
like this kid became massive.
I never knew this.
I'm pretty sure
Literally became probably the biggest streamer in 6 months.
But is he like is he one of
Household
those
name.
like I'm gonna scream and drop slurs to get attention dudes?
No.
Or is he like a good
No,
dude?
he's kind of just like awkward, weird mannerisms. Kind of got a Trump kind of mannerisms going on, but like not like saying stuff like Trump or like being
Is he a
but like
young
just
guy
he's-
or?
Yeah.
24.
Yeah.
My
Something
age,
like that.
basically. 24, 25 at the most. Basically it was revealed / came out that he 2 years ago was featured in some gay porn on OnlyFans. And
Whoa.
yeah, and I don't know if it was like a series of videos, like a whole channel, if it was just one video that he did. I really don't know the whole situation. I haven't seen the video. But yeah, so that came out, and then the immediate kind of backlash was like, whoa, I can't believe Sketch is like gay, basically, or like that he did that, and because it's the internet. And then you pretty much had a bunch of people slowly coming out and defending him, be like, it's really not that big of a deal. And then, so people were pretty much, the dumb part of the internet that like just wants to shit talk in comments and like can't, appreciate people's differences, all that kind of thing. Like there's just a bunch of outrage from those kind of people, and then a bunch of like popular streamers and whatever people who met Sketch, because he's just been like literally the guy. Once he got super popular, he like not took a break from streaming, but like cut back on streaming to go and travel and like do podcasts, be on other YouTube channels. And he literally said like, my goal is to just travel and meet people, as many people as I can, based off of like my popularity now. So that's what he's been doing the past few months. So like everybody that he's like talked to has been like, Sketch is a super normal guy. He really didn't do anything wrong. Like he's still gonna be, someone I'd talk to and support and all that stuff like that.
He's just gay.
And then it's just
That's
like,
all that
he's just
Right.
he's either he's just gay or bi or whatever it is, and like at the end of the day,
or
like
bisexual, sure. However he
right, and nothing
specifies.
changes. Nothing really changes.
Right. Yeah, man,
So
that's
that
it's
caused a
actually
pretty
crazy
big stir.
that we're still in times where like something like that happens and people are like, oh my god, like we have to speak on this. It's just seems so crazy to me in the grand scheme of things. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, he's famous, awesome. He happens to be on a different I guess wavelength in the sexuality spectrum that those would deem normal, quote unquote, which you would argue that there's not really a normal sexuality preference anyways.
Normal's
but it's crazy it's crazy that somebody happens to have done gay porn before, and it's like we have to have a fucking speech about why this is acceptable, and people come to bat for him. It's just terribly unfortunate, bro.
Right. And he went on stream and like publicly apologized, and people are like, what are you apologizing for? Like,
yeah, that's
just
why
happened 2 years ago. Like terrible. It is like, it's not like he, it's not like he, I saw someone like explain, like, it's not like he like was homophobic on stream and like was down, slandering gay people or anything like that. Right. It wasn't like he, did anything. It wasn't like it was having sex with like a minor, like he didn't do anything illegal. He didn't do anything wrong, really. He obviously regrets it and didn't want it to come out and has moved on, and I'm assuming doesn't do it anymore, or at least the OnlyFans part of it. So like, what did he do wrong? But then he like felt like he came on stream and like apologized and all that stuff. And so yeah, kind of a messed up situation. Kind of feel bad for the guy because he really didn't do anything. I don't think he's going anywhere though. Hopefully seems like he's doing okay now. But I'm sure that was
he's got a big enough
really
community.
rough 24 hours. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's what it sounds like.
That sucks, dude. Plus, whatever happened to like, mind your own fucking business.
Yeah,
like,
like, dude, he didn't do anything illegal or wrong.
Especially when it comes to like, like somebody's like sexuality. Like it doesn't, like it's just who fucking cares?
It's the whole thing of like once you're a public figure, right?
I know it's wild.
People feel like they have the right to just
they're entitled.
Wild.
Yeah,
your sex life should be
an
private,
opinion.
by the way.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Or it should at least be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Your level of publicity with it should entirely be in your own making.
Yeah.
Which I mean,
Not
he
up
did
to
say-
the zeitgeist.
yeah.
He did say in his apology he was like struggling with addiction at the time. It doesn't explicitly say what kind of addiction or like what to or anything like that, but he was just kind of battling some demons, and so whatever that leads you to, I don't know, it didn't elaborate, nor does he need to elaborate on like what led him to publish that kind of stuff. But it doesn't matter. Like at the end of the day, like, dude, he didn't do anything wrong, like, or illegal or malicious or have any bad intent. Like,
I feel like that's one of those things where it almost doesn't help that the lane he's famous in happens to be like video gaming and the internet.
Yeah,
right.
100%.
It's like the worst space to be famous in and have something like that come out. Where I'm sure you go out in public and in the real world, quote unquote, you're not going to have a quarter of that backlash, right, from the people you actually meet in real life. So yeah, that's unfortunate, man. But
yeah, or even if he's like an actor. Or like if he's an actor or like an athlete or like just not that kind of platform where like you kind of get to know somebody on a personal level, you know, like that's kind of what streaming is you kind of get a relation with their
Internet's the
personality.
worst place in the world to come out is
really
one of the
is.
worst places in the world to come out is anything other than normal, quote unquote. Whether that's a sexuality spectrum, whether that's how you identify from a gender standpoint or anything. That's like the worst fucking place. Internet sucks, bro. Bottom line.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I feel like nowadays, streamer, even more than like YouTuber in like circa 2017, 2018, is now like almost just like code for like shitty right wing male as well too. Like, we really missed the boat on defining that one as anything other than like you say it and people involuntarily cringe when you're thinking, and we're not, you know. Recent events is not helping this. It's not helping matters in any event. But yeah, it's tough, like you guys were saying, to have that be your main occupation. Regardless, you know, there's obviously a lot of great streamers out there who have totally healthy communities and are lovely people. But like to have that be your main place of business or anything like that, and then to have, you know, some very personal business brought into that domain has got to suck some shit.
Yeah,
true.
Because now you've just become the content for a million other of the worst people on the planet as well. Too.
I will say in his like apology video, it was probably one of the funniest like apology videos I've seen ever, and like he like made jokes during it. Like I don't know if you guys have seen a clip from it, but he goes, I did not have sexual relationships with that man. Just kidding. Possibly. Just kidding. I did. Possibly.
Yeah, if you know anything about Sketch and how he talks and just his mannerisms, that's like 100% like his humor and
Yeah.
So it's good.
He's
it's
like,
good.
I think he started off the stream with like, all right, let's address the elephant in the room. I got a haircut. Like
yeah, dude, that's totally.
Even the way he goes about doing that. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's how you kind of. I mean, that's certainly how I am in kind of those situations. Is coping with humor is definitely how I do that. So, seems like he's
human trait.
Yeah.
It's also good
more
to see
power
him
to him.
respond that way too.
Right, and just be honest and like just be upfront. And he was
we're not gonna call it an apology video because it's dumb that he has to apologize. But
right, I hate that it has to.
I know.
Yeah.
If he was truly in battling some addictions and has now been sober for a while, that'll give you some perspective on life.
Oh, for sure.
So he's probably kind of like, oh, this isn't the worst thing that I've gone through so far on that one.
Yeah, he did say it's like a weight off his shoulders because he knew this could come out at any point. So like at the peak of his stardom, he was always like and that would haunt me too.
It's a ticking
you know,
time
just
bomb.
kind of exactly just knowing at some point this is all going to come crashing down at least a little bit. You know.
Yeah, like even just because I'm an anxiety riddled person, there's times where like I'm just like, oh, you remember that like weirdly innocuous thing I said in 6th grade or something to that one guy? What if for something happens? What if I win the lottery and then that kid I bullied that one time in 6th grade comes out and is just like, that guy's a piece of shit, and then I'm a piece of shit for everyone forever for the rest of my life. That's why Inside Out.
Because the reality is that
Oh,
no, that's valid, Nathaniel. And the reality is like everybody has something like that about them. If you just happen to become a big enough person, right, or a big enough face or whatever. So yeah, man. It's unfortunate, man.
What's yours, Blake?
But yeah, that's something I guess I'll have to end up being a famous streamer for it to come.
I know there's some customer I was accidentally shitty to sometime at Best Buy that is just shakes their fist daily at the sky at my continued existence.
People fucking hate
just has your business card like posted on their wall.
100%.
Looks at it in the mirror every morning, like
throwing darts at it.
Yeah.
Found a picture of your face.
Yeah.
For
He's
sure.
like, he follows all your social medias.
Just lights a
He's listening to
cigarette.
every
Yeah.
episode of
Just
Back Row
just to
Banter.
put it out on my face every day. Doesn't even smoke, but just has a pack
Yeah.
of cigarettes right next to it.
It's just
yeah,
how
or
bad
even
they
just
make 'em.
being any teenager with a group of friends at like a sit down restaurant is like a fucking nightmare
Oh my
experience
God.
for anyone at the restaurant, right? So I'm sure I've done a lot of bullshit at 16 with friends, right? Whether it's movie theaters, completely fucking up the vibe of a movie. It's funny enough, this is a movie podcast, but I'm sure I've done those things countless times, right?
Dumb shit.
Yeah.
Let's all
Yeah,
confess
shout
our
out to
sins.
shout out to Sketch, man.
Shout
more
out to-
power
Yeah,
to
straight
him.
up.
Yeah, man.
I like the kid. His attitude
People-
makes you like
people-
him.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
Dude,
He
he's
seems-
such. He's I like the age gap between us is hard for me to find somebody that age entertaining.
Okay.
But when
what
I
you got to
started,
say about me, Ty?
well, and yeah, it's just he was like one of those people where I'm just like, you know what, he's kind of funny. He's a funny kid, and he's got a weird little attitude about him. Shout out Sketch.
Yeah,
sure
man.
he's
So
listening.
maybe this would be something for me to even go up and try to look him up and watch some of his stuff. But I mean, from the sexuality
should- dude,
standpoint,
if
man,
you just
sexuality
even
is it's a spectrum, bro. You can identify.
Even just look
however
up
you
like
wanna identify.
his just like funny clip compilations of Sketch. Like that's all you got to do,
Okay.
and you'll be rolling pretty quick.
Yeah, and it's
dude.
like
He's-
all
he's
Madden,
really
by
funny.
the way.
And he
I
plays
was gonna
Madden
ask,
a
what does he
lot.
play?
He's
That was
all
gonna be the
it's like
next question.
all Madden.
It's like,
Madden's probably his main game, but then like
fuck the
he'll play with other
sexuality. What
people
video
and play a
games
few
does
other
this
plays.
There you go.
and that's how we're gonna
That's
judge him, right?
The only real question you need to be asking.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
here.
So, all right, man. Sure. Well, I'll take a look at it.
Yeah, you should. You should.
Especially if he ends up playing the new NCAA, then I'm fucking in.
Oh, he absolutely will.
Right? So, yeah,
Yeah,
guarantee
100%.
it, pretty much.
which actually comes. I think that comes out in like
It's
3,
like a
4 days,
week.
bro. Yeah, man.
or no, it's at the 15th.
I thought it was I would say I thought it was 15th. I think it's Monday,
Walk me
Monday or Tuesday. or
Walk me
something like
through the why that game's so popular.
that. All right, brother. So the reason
Take it
this
away,
game, the reason this game is going to be massively popular, is because the last NCAA game they've made was 2014.
Right.
So
okay.
they're now about a decade out, right? And
Right.
at that time in NCAA games, that's before they had NIL for name, image, and likeness, so they couldn't play players. So you could play with the school, and it would just say like quarterback number 1, wide receiver number 3,
Got it. Okay.
running back number 7. But it would definitely be the player you watch on TV as a child, right? So if they had dreads, they'd have dreads. If they had tattoos, they'd have tattoos.
if it was
And
Colt
now
McCoy,
NIL.
it's still.
Go ahead.
I said if it was Colt McCoy, it was a white man.
Yep, it was just white quarterback number 12, Colt McCoy. Right, that's all it would. That's all I would say. But now they've got it fully in there, man. Where they've got everybody's full names. They paid the players. So this is something that was going out in or in the making. I'd say probably the past about 3 years or so. But they had to reach a big settlement to go ahead and pay every player who opted to be in the game, because you could opt out.
What did they pay every player? Like
I thought it was $700 to every
thought it
player
was-
who's in the game.
700
was less than
in
that.
total. Yeah, that's some bullshit. Like,
well,
I mean,
and,
you gotta think though,
and-
it's a
and-
ton of players, and then
Yeah.
and a free copy of the game, Nathaniel.
yes,
They don't have to pay
right.
it.
So
I mean,
They-
like,
in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't much, Nathaniel. But
No,
when
it
you're
was
paying
not.
that to, I don't know how many athletes are in that
At
game.
least make
fucking
it
40,000
1,000.
athletes.
at least give me. It's 2024. We got inflation, bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, fuck. You go back 10 years, they weren't paying him fucking anything. And the
That's
guy was like,
true.
"That's definitely me."
it's
right.
true. I know.
A minimum of $600. Now, I think if you're like a
If you're a star player, I'm sure they.
Sand-
free
if you're Shedeur Sanders, then yeah,
Yeah.
you're probably gonna get more than $600.
Getting
for sure.
50 G's
I
or
agree.
something.
So,
But
yeah,
you know
They,
they're
they
gonna.
honestly probably put it in his contract to make him the number 1 rated player, because he is the number 1 rated player in this game, and he absolutely should not be.
But I guess my point was just thinking that like video games I know are just like one of the craziest margins and like make so much money. Like
Mhm.
they could probably definitely afford. And isn't it EA making it?
It is
Yes.
EA.
Billion-dollar
Which,
company.
Contrary to popular belief,
Yeah.
they make this may be the first good game they've made in a while. Is kind of the rumor, because EA's been butchering games for a long time. I
Right.
don't know if you guys are big
They've
EA.
been, yeah, dude, they've been down for the count for a minute.
For sure, bro. So this like could be the fucking second life for EA if they play their cards right, and it looks like they're on roll.
This might be, yeah.
this is going to be the
up
highest selling
there.
game of the year by far.
Really?
I don't know.
I
Just you got to think
100%.
internationally. Internationally, when that stuff,
Yeah.
that's tough to top because this is mainly going to sell in the States. But
Oh,
It's
it's
like-
gonna be top
It's gonna be
five,
close,
honestly.
bro.
Like, it's
Yeah.
gonna be up there. Like
But-
I haven't played Madden or a football video game in over a decade, and I plan on
Me
buying
too.
this game when it comes out.
Me too. The last Madden I played, I want to say is like 15 or something like that.
When is this? When is the 19th?
Um,
That's a week from tomorrow.
I think Thursday or something like that.
Today's the
Yeah.
10th.
Today is the 10th.
So 19th was that next Saturday, Sunday.
Next
Next
Friday.
Yeah, man. NCAA 14 is like a classic. That's like shit I played like
Even I played that.
throughout
I
high
played,
school, throughout college. We played that in the locker room. That was just like a staple of any sort of video gaming at that time, bro.
Yeah.
Still have my copy to this day. Actually, I don't because I left it in my locker room at college, and I know I'm never getting that shit back. So, for sure.
No way.
Yeah. Wonder where it's at. Shout out them. If it's still up there, just know that's me. I don't even think I exist in that locker room anymore, though.
Blake, what do you-
Anybody who was a freshman when I was older is now gone too.
Right, sure.
So, yeah. Someone may not even know that's mine, but it's in there somewhere.
Blake,
That
what are you
belongs to
doing
me.
next Friday?
We would live stream EA.
Well, we don't have to live
It's
stream.
like
We could
24
just-
yeah.
I'm just
You
trying to
wanna
get the lay of the land. Yeah,
I think I'm
kinda-
actually gonna buy it, which is crazy.
Oh, I'm
for me to
buying
say
it.
because
I'm buying it.
I know I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna play it for 3 days and be like, this is so cool. Then
Yep.
never play it again. And it's gonna be the biggest waste of fucking money in the world. But for 3
Yep.
days, I'm gonna be
Well,
on a
that's
high
why-
horse.
You know, I'm basically 24, and that's how I feel about most games nowadays. So,
So
but like I want to play it, so I'm gonna buy it.
See, I just watch other
down.
people play it, and then I don't waste the money.
Yeah, and that's what
Um,
I've done. That's what I've been doing the past like 5 years of my life, to be honest with you, Nathaniel. So
That's
we'll see,
valid.
man.
I mean, if you like watching a game, you're gonna like playing it.
Yeah, that's true. Except I'm not as talented as them, and so they'll complete it faster.
Some of the competitive ones maybe, but like, you know, I think like story games, most story games,
yeah.
people can play on the same. And if you don't, like,
I've
if you
just
just
been-
want to get through the story, then just put on a different.
I've been
game.
watching a lot of people play an Elden Ring, which I just know I would never enjoy.
I would.
or
I
like,
can't.
or
Yeah, I don't have the patience.
play or find out the lore, but it's fun to watch other people play it.
Ty, have you ever played any of those like Souls-esque games?
Um,
Dark Souls, Bloodborne.
Have you played any of them, Blake?
I've played Bloodborne a little bit.
Okay.
But
I
that
think I
game
remember
is
you mentioning
ridiculously
that you-
fucking hard, bro.
Yeah, I know.
So
They're
I
all
never
so
went back to
hard,
it.
dude.
For
Like, I don't know how
sure.
anyone completes those games. Like, I want to smash my head against the wall anytime I try them.
Well,
So I just
Yeah,
don't
the-
anymore.
well,
The
it's-
closest I've
I
gotten.
know there's
to
an
those
audience for them.
is-
Everyone loves these games, man, but I can't
Yeah.
physically.
And they're cool
play
to
them.
watch.
Like,
The-
they're
the-
fun
the
to
clo-
watch. I will.
The
say that.
closest I've gotten to playing a game like that is like the revamped God of Wars or the God of Wars from
Right.
PS4 onward. Those are very similar to those. I think they're like a notch below in terms of actual difficulty,
right.
but it's a fucking hard game for sure, man. Where you got to make sure
I will say
all
also.
your gear is correct. You have certain spells for certain combos. So yeah, I would say it's just a notch below those, and that's about the highest difficulty I can now dedicate to a video game.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that.
Closest I've come is definitely the Star Wars Jedi Survivor games or whatever they're called.
Oh,
Fallen
yeah,
Order.
so much fun.
Yeah, they're fun games, but they're kind of same idea in terms of like Souls-esque, where you have stormtroopers are on the map, and then you big bosses towards the end of the levels or planets or whatever it was. So I played the first one. I actually don't know if I finished the first one. I have not played the second one. I heard it's good, but
I beat the first one 100% to completion.
Jesus.
And then
Tyler's good at video games.
and
I
then
know.
the second one I played through the story, but not like every single box lightsaber. You know.
Hey Ty, are you going to get the new Assassin's Creed?
I will.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
100%.
I remember you played the last one, which was
Dude,
the last one's the
I
Viking
played
one.
shit out of Valhalla.
He did indeed.
There were
Yeah.
times where like I would go like I would be off, Nathaniel would have to go to work, and I would get up at like 6:30, come out to the living room. Leah would get up, go to work. Nathaniel would get up and be like, You off? Yeah. All right. I'll see you later. And like we'd say goodbye, and both of them would come home, and I would be in the same exact spot.
For sure.
I felt like a bag of shit, but like all the laundry was done, the apartment was clean. Like I'll take,
man.
dude, I'll take like a,
I'm
like
unwinding.
you're gonna have to take like an hour break to eat, maybe shower, and that's where you put in all the cleaning, the extra effort, and then you just go back to the game, and yeah, you still kind of feel like a piece of shit, but like, yo, you did fucking work, dude.
I was gonna say,
For sure.
talk about watching someone play a video game. I think I watched probably.
Hey, that's not a bad game for that though.
Oh,
to
no,
be honest with you.
no,
This is
I
like
was-
a secondhand viewing experience.
I was down. You know, like,
That would be a fun game
sure,
to
I
watch.
Yeah,
wasn't mad.
sometimes
Yeah.
like we would just be scrolling, he'd be like, you just want to play, and I'm just like, yeah, fuck it, if you're gonna like let me. And I was never kind of like the person to like want to play video games in front of people, because Justin always did it to me as a kid. It was like he only wanted to play single player games. I'm like, dude, I don't want to fucking sit here and watch you play. Like, this is all we have. Share, you piece of shit. And so, he was all for it, and I'm like, all right, dude, if you want, like, we'll literally sit here and play.
Even when I go over to my friends' houses as a kid, we'd play together for a little bit, but I'd be like, all right, no, you go play, I'll watch. Like, because I don't know, I like watching people play, and then like I'll get to like help and think about some other part of it, and if like they're stuck on it, then I can help out.
You're a navigator.
Yeah, I'm the co-pilot.
Yep.
Anyway, should we start this
There
episode?
it is.